It's a story that you and I think, are going to disagree on. Is that right?
Ooh, interesting. Let's find out.
All right, take a look at this.
This morning, serious questions swirling around baseball superstar Shohei Ohtani and his longtime interpreter after the Los Angeles Dodgers fired his interpreter, Ippei Mizuhara, after being accused by Ohtani's attorneys of massive theft, reportedly tied to millions of dollars in gambling debt.
Shohei's interpreter, mostly Shohei's best buddy, close friend, Ippei Mizuhara.
The Dodgers confirming the team terminated the interpreter and has no further comment.
The biggest story in baseball was, until this week, Shohei Ohtani signing with the Dodgers. Now it has become the gambling scandal surrounding Ohtani as the season starts. Ohtani's lawyers now allege that his interpreter, who he has worked with since 2013, has been stealing money from him to fund his gambling habit. Lawyers for Ohtani made the claim after the Times learned that Ohtani's name had surfaced in the investigation of Matthew Boyer, an Orange County resident. Ohtani's representatives looked into the actions of the interpreter, Ippei Mizuhara, in response to the Times queries, a source close to the matter said. The investigation into Boyer involves the same prosecution team that has targeted a multi-million-dollar illegal sports gambling scheme anchored in Orange County, according to the Times' sources and court records. At least a dozen people have been charged in that wider probe, including ex-Dodger Yasiel Puig, who has pleaded not guilty. That's centered on a bookmaking operation led by former minor league baseball player Wayne Nix of Newport Beach, the records show. Boyer was allegedly bragging to his associates in Las Vegas that he has an Ohtani connection due to his relationship with Mizuhara. According to sources who requested anonymity, Mizuhara had allegedly been placing bets with Boyer. Two sources told the newspaper that the money involved was in the millions of dollars. Sports betting, of course, is legal in 38 states, but it is not yet legal in California, where Ohtani has played his entire MLB career. But offshore sports betting, which operates in a murky area, does not require upfront payment for bets, relying instead on credit. Meanwhile, Major League Baseball's collective bargaining agreement with the Players Union makes clear that players are not allowed to bet on baseball in any form, at any level, including in the form of fantasy sports. Mizuhara told ESPN he knew this and did not bet on baseball. But it also makes clear that players are allowed to place legal bets on other sports, though illegal bets on any other sport or event, including bets placed with illegal bookmakers or illegal offshore sports betting websites or applications, are prohibited. On Tuesday, Mizuhara told ESPN his bets were on international soccer, the NBA, the NFL, and college football, claiming he never bet on baseball and that he knew the rule. But he's been changing his story multiple times already. ESPN said it spoke to Mizuhara on Tuesday night, at which point the interpreter said Ohtani had paid his gambling debts at Mizuhara's request. After the statement from Ohtani's attorney saying the player was a victim of theft, ESPN says Mizuhara changed his story Wednesday and claimed Ohtani had no knowledge of the gambling debts and had not transferred any money to bookmakers. And what makes it even worse, he didn't even win. He said, "I'm terrible at gambling. Never going to do it again. Never won any money. I mean, I dug myself a hole and it kept getting bigger. And it meant I had to bet bigger to get out of it, and I just kept losing. It was a snowball effect." Now, despite major sports leagues partnering with gambling platforms, it's still prohibited activity for the athletes. And the proliferation of sports betting has created a complicated environment for the players. Now, Indianapolis Pacers star Tyrese Halliburton said to half the world, "I'm just helping them make money on DraftKings or whatever. I'm a prop." Now, up until this point, Cenk, what do you make of this Ohtani story? I'm curious how you feel about the proliferation of gambling in sports.
Well, I have mixed feelings. I love it because I love gambling. Okay, so there, I just said it. On the other hand, I don't love its effect on the players and the people around the sports overall. So, but this story has two different issues. So let's break it down. First of all, when it comes to Mizuhara, I don't believe him at all. So I don't believe him on when he says he didn't bet on baseball. Yeah. I know dudes who gamble, okay? Oh, you bet on the NFL and NBA, but you wouldn't cross the line on the sport that you love most? not buying it for a second. In fact, I'll take a bet against that. Okay, number two, he said, oh, Ohtani gave me the money, and then it looked like Ohtani was gonna get in trouble, and then they immediately switched the story to, oh, he stole from Ohtani. I'm not sure he did. There's some chance that he did that. He kind of fell on a sword, if you will, to protect Ohtani. And if he did, that would be the one decent thing that he did. So Ohtani sounds like he's a super good guy, and he might have actually helped his friend. Look, you know what? I hope they don't even investigate Ohtani. No, if he was gambling, then they need to investigate him. But if he has nothing to do with the gambling, don't punish him for being a good guy to his friend. It's Mizuhara that's the problem here, okay? So that's the Ohtani side of it. But the more interesting part of it to me is, how it's affecting gambling and sports overall. Halliburton made a really good point. He said, look, man, this affects us psychologically too, because we all know that people are making prop bets on us, and then they tell us on the streets and the stadiums and stuff, and they're yelling at us, you cost me $1,000, and that gets inside the players' heads, right? And Tyrese said that he goes to a psychologist to make sure that it doesn't affect him too much. So to that point, Jordan, as much as I think sports betting should definitely be allowed, gambling should definitely be allowed, I know it's got its downsides, and I know that if you get addicted, please look for help. If you need the help, please go get it, right? But we're grown-ups, and we get to make grown-up decisions, and we get to be free, and I don't need the government to be my nanny on whether I should lay down $25 on the Chargers or not. And by the way, they're the Chargers. Don't. Although they did get Harbaugh. Okay, but anyways, but for the players, I can't have them, or anyone involved in these teams, I cannot have them betting at all. It's gonna corrupt you, it could addict you, which could lead you further down the hole, and it could lead you to betting on the thing that you might be able to control, which is your own game. So I don't want any piece of that. What do you think, Jordan?
There's a couple things. First, on Ohtani, I don't think that he was responsible or he was doing. I think he probably helped his friend. I don't think he stole. The interpreter stole. I think that's their story. But I think it was probably him just helping his friend, and because the money came from his account, he's embroiled in it. I don't think it's a big deal, and I think because he's a once in a century star, Major League Baseball is not going to do anything about it.
Yeah.
I think they maybe will give him a slap on the wrist, maybe a couple games, but there's just so much money on the line right now for the league, for the team, for ratings. Everyone wants to see this guy play with the Dodgers. It's just, it's exciting.
Okay, hold on, Jordan. Let me interrupt there for 1 second. On Ohtani, you're 100% right. Okay, if it was like a minor player, they might want to make an example out of him, right? Even if he didn't do it himself, but he's entangled with the other guy who did it. But since Ohtani is the biggest star in baseball, and maybe in sports now, I mean, if you don't know about him, look him up. He's unbelievable. He both pitches and hits, although he's injured this year and is not pitching. But anyways, for a guy like this, the Major League Baseball's commissioner right now, you know which song he's singing? Let it go, let it go. They're not gonna do anything about Ohtani. And they shouldn't, I don't think. Sorry, keep going.
No, I think I'm glad we're in alignment there, because here's where we disagree. So I think the proliferation of sport, I think it's weird that the leagues have these betting partnerships, but don't let the players bet. I think they should be able to bet. You could bet on, I think the rules should be, you can bet on other games, you can bet on yourself to win, your team to win. I don't think there's a problem with that. I think it's frustrating when you see people who even get suspended for betting on other teams, other games. Like, that's ridiculous. If you're betting on yourself to win, who cares? You're gonna see a more motivated performance from somebody when they have money on the line if they go out there and win. I think that's fine. I don't think it's a big deal, especially when these leagues are partnering with the sites and putting live prop bets on the screen. Oh, what's the next drive going to result in, a touchdown or a field goal, or what's the next play going to be, a basket or 3-pointer? Let them go out and bet on themselves. If they're betting on themselves to lose, problem. If they're betting on themselves to win, I'm all for it.
That's crazy talk. Okay, Dad, don't. Okay, so let me explain a couple of scenarios, but there's a million of these scenarios. Number one, okay, you bet on yourself. I mean, can we also bet on yourself to score as many points as possible? Well, golly gee willikers, you're gonna try harder. But what if scoring points, more points, is not the right strategy for your team? What if you should have had more assists and more rebounds, but you wanted to drive up your score, so you were selfish and did the wrong thing for your team? Scenario number two, bet on other teams, it's not your team. Okay, I bet on Cleveland to make the playoffs, which would, well, they did, to be fair.
That's a bad bet. No,
yeah,
that's not.
I mean, you should never bet on the Browns, but anyway, I'm a Steelers fan. And so I bet on the Browns to make the playoffs. Well, if my team loses, maybe it helps Cleveland make the playoffs. So now I have an incentive, even though I didn't bet on my team, it still affects, it might affect how I play. But most importantly, Jordan, even if you eliminate all those loopholes, which I don't think you can eliminate all the loopholes, it gives off the appearance of impropriety. If we know that they got money on the line, and then by the way, once you allow the players to start betting, then they're gonna be used as proxies. Some mob guy's gonna come in and go, hey, why don't I give you $1 million to do X or Y? And maybe it's to win the first 3 times, but on the 4th time, they make you a very tempting offer to lose. And you're already all the way in. It's just a terrible idea overall. Look, in my opinion, if you're a professional athlete at this point, brother, you already bet on yourself, okay? And you already made it. Great, enjoy that. And by the way, once you retire, come join me. Let's bet against the Browns. Have a great time and do whatever you want. And you're a free citizen, have at it, Hoss. But if you're involved in professional sports, I don't think we can have it at all.
First of all, the Browns are my team. And I don't know if you've ever really talked about that, but in my heart, I'm always gonna bet on them. I'm never gonna bet on them with money to win. That's a bad bet.
Good point.
I'm still not swayed. I think if you are already being used in promotional materials by the league or your team or your likeness, whatever, you're being promoted to viewers for DraftKings, for FanDuel, for MGM, and all these people are making money off of your performance, and you just want to say, okay, yeah, money lines straight up, my team's gonna win. I can't bring myself to be upset by that. There are way worse scandals in sports, cheating, steroids, anything like that gives them an unfair advantage. That's a bigger deal to me than someone saying 10 grand, my team's gonna crush it tonight.
Yeah, no, I think the betting's a bigger deal because it could affect the outcome. It doesn't mean that they don't do many
Cheating affects the outcome.
No, I get it. And there's many other problems in sports too. I mean, you're telling me those offensive linemen are not on steroids? If you say so.
I don't know.
but they certainly look a lot bigger than the offensive linemen from the 1960s, 70s. There's other factors too, but I'm not sure that the NFL's drug test is that stringent, okay? So I hear you, there's a lot of different ways to cheat, but I think gambling for the athletes and the coaches, et cetera, and the people associated with them might be among the worst. And that's coming from a guy who loves gambling. So, but we got to keep gambling nice and moral.
Gambling.
We can't have cheating in this gambling establishment, okay? Thanks for watching the Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.